Hey, Net Builders, thanks for joining us again for another great episode. And we have our first returning entrepreneur here. If you guys remember in season 2 when Jill Goubeaud, Miss New You, joined us.
Hey.
It's amazing. It's been a year.
It has been a year.
And I know you're going to be really modest when I ask you this question. But can you fill us in on what's new with New You?
Oh, man. So many different things. First and foremost, I have some very exciting news, and that news is that we have leveled up and have our very own commissary kitchen space here in Tacoma.
What?
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. And that is like the huge news. We've got the building in July, so still, getting some things situated, and then we'll be able to open that space up to the community as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have other news too, because you are being modest.
Right. Well, the other...
I gotta pull it out of her, guys.
Some other exciting news is that we've started a YouTube channel and going to be doing podcasting as well. And this is a brand new thing, and I actually just got my podcast equipment yesterday. So very exciting for that. And getting some videos produced and edited. So stay tuned for all of that information.
Really, really excited about that. And thank you for sharing.
Of course.
But it's like we said, it's been a year, and it's so amazing because if you remember, and I'm half tempted to like edit a part in where we play a part from the last clip,
yeah,
so then they can see it, because a lot of the things that you said in season 2
mm-hmm.
in the year's time has actually come to pass.
Yeah, yes, I do. I have some ideas about making a franchisable business. I also am working on a consumable product to put out in stores. And what's really exciting is we all say the sky is the limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually am wanting to break into airline catering because there are no vegan options on our commercial airlines.
Yeah, so a lot has, and a lot has happened, and there have been honestly some personal setbacks that have happened, and some health challenges that I've had to face. However, in those times, you get stronger and you really figure out how to pivot. And speaking of pivoting, I had the pleasure of doing a virtual summit with RJ and a few other entrepreneurs. And my topic was talking about pivoting. And I feel like that's something that I've been able to do throughout my entire life. And I think that that's why RJ chose for me to do that topic. So it's exciting.
And you covered it very well too.
Well, thank you.
That you were able to do it through life experience. Because afterward, we actually got a bunch of messages from the people that attended. They loved everything about it. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was super fun to do, and I can't wait for the next one.
Oh, we're definitely doing the next one.
Yeah.
But yes, and covering pivoting, like and it's great because you started your business a little bit before the pandemic.
Yep. November of 2019.
And then walked right into it. And your pivot was, I think that was amazing because you're a service-based business.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, your business involves food. And
right.
That was the thing. Everyone was afraid to touch.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted the food industry, pretty much.
Yeah, you either were going to sink or swim. And thank goodness that I was able to swim and swim fast. Because although, the cooking classes portion of the business had to, take a break during the pandemic, but the meal prep service really skyrocketed, and I was able to continue to provide healthy meals to so many people and honor what people wanted, and that was to eat healthy, because I think during this time people really figured, oh, I really need to take care of myself, and health is important and what we eat is important. So it was a blessing, and I'm very grateful and thankful that I had that experience during the pandemic, because so many businesses did not. So shout out to all of my loyal customers that have been riding with me from the beginning, and new ones that continue to flood in. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
That's nice. And speaking of loyalty, creating loyalty in a customer base, let's talk a little bit about that, because I think that that's a very overlooked aspect of business ownership. Like, a lot of people look at, I have a client, get them served, get them out of here.
Yeah.
But how do you keep them coming back?
So I would say that there's a couple of things that I do to keep customers coming back. And that one is being loving and transparent with them, and wanting to know, who am I serving? Because I'm not just cooking for you, I am serving meals for you and your family. So I want to know, what are your likes and dislikes of food? Do you have any allergies? What is your level of spiciness that you like? Let's talk about your health goals. So I offer a 30-minute complimentary consultation before a new customer decides to join. And I really like to know, who am I working with? And I think that makes a big difference with customers.
So too, I actually never heard of anything like that, like an actual 30-minute consultation to get to know them prior to, so it's like, that's the definition of overvalue, you know what I mean? Like, going above and beyond. Because before they even get their first meal, you create that connection. And yeah, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and like, one of the things that I find also to be really important is to be empowering and encouraging to all people, right? And letting people know, giving little tips and tricks of different things. Like, if a client reaches out to me and says, hey, I really like that salad dressing recipe in one of the meals, I'm more than willing to share that with a client, because it's like, I don't fear of them not coming back to me because now they have this recipe. It's just adding value to their life, because at the end of the day, I don't want to cook for you for the rest of your life. I want to empower you and encourage you to learn how to prepare your own food.
And I think it's very interesting you say that, because I have that argument with people all the time, like for my credit repair business. I believe in educating as I'm doing it, and a lot of my competitors are like, well, why would you teach them to fix their credit while you're doing it? Then they're not going to come back. But if you're honestly trying to service this person, you want to make sure they don't come back. I don't want to see that client again. Like, no.
Yeah.
But
right.
I really think that that's great that you do have that mindset, because a lot of people do feel like they have to count on their customer or client ending up in the same position over and over again to keep money generating. So I think that that's great that you do that.
Yeah, and it's like the saying goes, if you give a man a fish, then he'll eat for one day. But if you teach him how to fish, then he'll eat for a lifetime. And that's the same concept with what we're talking about. We want to empower the people that we're working with to live the best life possible.
Definitely.
And not depend on other people for everything.
You recently started moving into the employee or process.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. So that's another thing that has happened is I hired my first employee.
Exciting.
Yeah, and it was going really great, and she added a lot of value to what I was doing or what we were doing, and really it made a big difference in the time of getting orders out and cooking and bouncing ideas off of each other. So that was an amazing experience. However, she did put in her 2 weeks about a month or so ago because she got a full-time job. So I wish her all the best. And right now, I have other 1099 employees doing some administrative type of work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a huge thing that is making a big difference. So right now I have about over 200 recipes, and so this particular person is retyping and reformatting all of the recipes and making them digital. So that's going to be big, because one of the things that I want to do, I think I talked on the first episode, was making a educational workbook, including recipes and videos embedded into this digital cookbook.
Nice. And see, I think this is really amazing because you made you made 2 transitions. It might be 3. But from employee to entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And then from entrepreneur to small business owner.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people never make the last transition. They stay an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, well, I won't say everybody, but a lot of people don't understand that there is a difference between an entrepreneur and a small business owner. Because small business owners start to get employees.
Right.
And you start to create systems. And systems are what sell.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's great that you were able to relinquish a lot of.
Right.
I know that had to be.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough to relinquish some of the control, and because I had that experience, a positive experience with this previous employee, now I feel more comfortable for the next time around when I am looking for somebody to be, cooking right there with me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that will happen, soon. And I'm actually going to be transitioning myself out of the kitchen and giving full control to a few other people to do the cooking.
You okay with that?
I mean, I am okay with it, because my mindset is I want to feed you thoughts. I want to feed your thoughts. I want other people to feed your body with food, and now I want to feed your mind with thoughts.
And that's great
with
because
food.
you did make another transition, and that's from being a technician to the actual entrepreneur again.
Right.
Because originally, you start off as the entrepreneur. I have this great idea. Now, actually start off as the technician. I love cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And then the entrepreneur came in and said, now it's made into a business.
Right.
But you didn't stay the technician, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to cook forever. So I think that's great that you're going back over. Well, actually, the manager comes in too.
Right.
But I think that it's great that you found a way to, hey, I'm going to relinquish the technician part again so I can go do bigger, better things and let the business grow even more. Cause that's something that sometimes I even struggle with, I'm not going to lie, is management by advocacy. If I have someone to do something, I'm going to look all the way over your shoulder. Like, you're doing it wrong. It's like, I just spent 4 hours of your 8-hour shift telling you how to do stuff. Even though you're not doing it wrong.
Right. You're just not doing it my way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like there's 80 different ways to do the same thing, as long as we're getting from point A to point B.
Exactly.
In a solid amount of in like a reasonable amount of time.
And the truth of the matter is, is they're honestly probably doing it better than me,
right,
and more time efficiently than me.
right.
But in the beginning, I was just like, no, it has to be done my way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, he did just shave off 5 minutes of that task. And that's something I had to swallow my pride on. I really did. I had to swallow my pride on. And shout out to Jody. Thank you. I'm admitting it now.
Hey. We all grow and learn.
You were definitely better at data entry than me, and the system that he created for the integrate with our CRM is way better, and letting that go and learning that from him made life so much easier. So I completely agree. When you have that first experience with a great employee, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, totally. Because it wasn't easy, and I started off by only letting her do specific chopping, dicing, and slicing, and then we built up to her creating different dressings and assembling salads and then cooking. So it's like little baby steps, but I think that that's important, is finding that balance between yourself and control and your ego and the employee. It all has to balance out.
Yeah, that's a big balance.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's way easier said than done.
Right.
So you also have a kind of a fitness portion to this too. You do if you follow her, you guys make sure y'all follow her, New You Cooking Consulting, on Facebook and IG. And lots of great content there.
Yeah.
She has a lot of footage with Aisha Vandispool. I said it right?
Yeah, you did. From Evidence-Based Fitness. So shout out.
Yeah. And you guys are killing it. You guys are killing it. The tire flip, there's great content, workout content, and it's I really believe that's very important that you are posting that, because it's really showing that you live it.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Is how I appear on social media is how I live my life, right? And I think that it's very important for me at least, to continue to be transparent and vulnerable. And I really encourage you guys to check out my YouTube channel that is going to be flooded with videos here soon, because I've been really quiet about the health setbacks that I have had this past year, and now I'm ready to share with everyone what has happened, and to encourage people that when your life changes unexpectedly, you figure out how to maneuver through life, and you make adaptations, and you just can't feel sorry for yourself. You gotta just push through. And living this type of lifestyle with healthy eating and being plant-based and being in fitness, it all goes hand in hand. And I think that it's uncomfortable for me sometimes to post videos and things like that, but I do it because I want to encourage and inspire everybody who comes across it.
Yeah, I think that's amazing, because that word you use, vulnerability. So many people are afraid to be that, because social media allows you to portray anything.
Right.
Anything. You could be Batman, you could be Superman, you could be a millionaire, you could be anything that you want online, and people choose to be anything but them.
Right.
So I think that is amazing. I think that the second word you said, inspire. I think that is going to inspire so many people to do the same, and man, I just think that's great.
Thank you. Yeah. No, it feels good, and I'm really excited, and I appreciate the people in my life who have pushed me to continue to be uncomfortable, and push me to be a better version of myself, and just go for it, because it's important. Just go for it. Like I always say in my post, DCD. So DCD is decide, commit, and do. So DCD, new you.
Do.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a good acronym to live by.
Right.
Decide, commit, do. You
Right.
can't get easier than that.
Yeah. So you just gotta, keep that in your mind. And when times get challenging and tough, you have to remember, what is your why? Why are we doing this? And sometimes we'll question, why are we doing it? Because it's not easy. But if success was easy, then everybody would be successful.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
It's that that instant gratification meter seems like it's gone up so much
Mm-hmm.
due to the internet. And speaking of, when you originally got started in New You,
Mm-hmm.
how involved were you in utilizing technology in the system?
Good question. So I resisted for so long.
You look like when I started asking that question, you knew what I was gonna ask.
I did.
You really did.
I did. Yeah. I resisted for a very long time. I did not like Instagram. I did not have a website for a long time. And I only utilized Facebook because that's what I was comfortable with, right? And
Gotcha.
and now, I have Instagram. I have 2 accounts on Instagram, one for New You and one for Jilliana Jade, and both of them go hand in hand, but they're both different. New You is solely for cooking, and Jilliana Jade is more for fitness and lifestyle brand.
Oh.
And then I have Facebook, and now YouTube, and Anchor, and I do have a website now.
You went from 0 to 2 million real quick.
Right?
But some people like to ease in. You just said, decide, commit, do.
Right? I mean, it's taken a little bit of time, but, I created the steps, and now I can say that, yes, I have these things in place and utilizing them. So that's the thing, is we have to utilize the tools that we have.
Do you feel like it's made business a little easier, or it's a hassle?
Well,
because it's a full-time job.
It is.
Managing your social media.
It is.
It really is.
I want to say it's a hassle, to be honest, because it just takes a long time, right? Because it does matter. How are you posting?
Yes.
And the content that you are putting out there, and responding to the comments and all these different things, it is time consuming. And I'm a more in-person type of person. So social media is not something that I love, but I do it because that's just the society that we live in. We have to be up on our social media.
And it's another pivot for you.
Right.
The reason why I asked you this, the past few questions that I asked you, is because I wanted to really drive home to the audience the statement that you said earlier.
Okay.
Getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
And every question that I've asked you for the past 10 minutes has involved you doing something that you initially did not want to do.
Yeah.
So there was a method to that madness, there, but you really are in the epitome of that, because a lot of clients of mine, or even just a lot of small business owners, they don't understand that. You said it earlier as well, that if success was easy, everybody would have been successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them don't understand that in order to do this, in order to do any entrepreneurial endeavor and be successful at it,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do something you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
You don't pick a lane, stay in it, and say, well, if I don't do this, I'll still get the same results that I'm expecting. If I push that aside, that's for all the other successful people.
Right.
Another blooper. My bad.
That's okay. Some of these bloopers are the best.
Yeah.
You know, behind the scenes.
All the way off.
Yeah, I should turn my phone off too. Yeah. There we go.
My bad.
Oh, it's all good. This is life.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, but they really expect for to not follow the steps, not do the work and really get the expected results, and then they'll get mad. Well, so and so said this, or my guru said this, or my coach said this, and I don't have the results that were promised. But did you do the work that was required?
Right. And you know, and that's like one of the biggest things is having an action plan and taking action. I think that, I know for me, like one of my downfalls is I come up with all these ideas and I'm gung-ho about it and blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes it takes me a while to take action, whether it's because I get, you know, caught up with doing other things, or it's something that I really feel nervous about or uncomfortable. And then it takes, you know, people in my life to encourage me and push me. So it's like, yeah, we all like have our downfalls. That's just life, right? But it's a matter of just accepting that and then doing it. And so, yeah, I think that just DCD, decide, commit, do.
Gotcha. And with that said, how do you deal with failure?
What do you mean? I don't fail.
I like that. Fell forward. Right? A lot of you know, and that's gonna be the rebuttal that you get, you know, from DCD. But what if I fail? You know.
Yeah.
And that's always a factor.
Right. And I think that, you know, one of the things for me in my life that I failed at so many different things, but it's about not dwelling in the fact that, I failed at this. It's, what did I learn from this? And what is that golden piece that I'm going to take out and never do that same mistake again because I learned from that situation?
I couldn't thought of a better answer for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
I can't even add on to that. That was perfect.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's like we can't dwell, and that all comes back to understanding too. Understanding who are we in our life, meaning we all have a character, and you'll recognize this from doing Landmark, right? We all have, who is the character that we play in our life, and once we can recognize who are we, right? So for me, previous to my personal development journey, I was the victim, just like so many of us play that victim role. And when you accept who have you been playing and get over like all those things, that the rackets that we make up about ourselves and things that have happened to us in our life, when we can come to acceptance of who we truly are at our core, then we will be able to really move forward in our life. And that's when my life changed, was when I was able to recognize these different things about myself and come to a place of acceptance. And so when you are a victim in your life, everything happens to you, and this and this, and you always look at the negative side of things. But when you can be accepting of who are you truly and who do you want to be, then when failure happens, you let it roll off of your back like it's nothing, and you look at that learning moment. So that's the biggest difference for me.
And I feel like that whole mentality really falls into the name of your company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's how my company was born, was through my personal development.
Wow.
Of, there's many, I always say my previous life, because my life was very different before 2019. And there's been a lot of obstacles and challenges and many situations that I've had to overcome to get to where I'm at right now. And New You was literally born out of a conversation that my friend and I were having flying back to Seattle from her business trip. And she was telling me how proud she was of me, and her and I met in this personal development training. And she said, you know what, Jill, you are just like, you're literally like a new you. And I was like, dude,
Wow.
That's going to be the business.
Just like that.
Just like that. And then from there, we were brainstorming of how are we going to spell it, and what's the tagline, and what's the concept. And so by the end of the flight, we had this whole business plan.
In one flight.
Yeah. So it was incredible. So yes, the name New You represents me as a new person and a new me, and it's also encouraging and inspiring people to become the new you, because it all goes back to acceptance of self and understanding who are you. So you can change who you are, and what has happened to you does not define who you are. You can make the decision to change the direction of your life. And so New You is way more than just cooking. It's a lifestyle brand. So we educate and inspire people to live a life in optimal health.
It sounds like a whole experience, honestly. It really does.
And I'm excited for the YouTube to really start popping off, because the YouTube channel is not just going to be me, but I'm going to be the host, and I'm going to be interviewing other health and wellness professionals in Washington and all over the country and all over the world. Because every time that I travel, I always make it my mission to connect with people, local people of where am I traveling. And so I have people all over, every place.
Came back from Greece.
I did, yeah. That was awesome.
It was like a blast.
It was a blast. And speaking of Greece, I met a orthopedic surgeon over there. And we had this really great conversation, because one of the things is I was able to eat a lot of foods in Greece that I'm not able to eat over here, such as nightshade vegetables, so tomatoes and eggplants and gluten. So all those things really inflamed my body and made me have like crazy rashes on my hands. And when I was in Greece, I was like, I'm just going to try all of these different foods. And the conversation and no bad reaction happened. Huh. And so I met this orthopedic surgeon, and I started having this conversation with him. And he said, well, that's not surprising that you're not having a bad reaction, because we in Greece do not use GMO foods. Our farming practices are way more strict, and our food is clean, versus in America, where GMO food that's what our food is, right? And I've heard this before, but to experience it firsthand was incredible. And that made me really, reevaluate what are we doing here in America, and even reevaluate my personal life. And now I'm even more connected to local farmers. And I don't buy a lot of food from the grocery store because I just don't, I don't believe in our food system. And so it's my mission to educate other people of how to eat clean. And clean is very broad, but it's like...
Because honestly, before we just had this conversation, clean food had a whole completely different meaning. I thought this was clean. But now you don't look as healthy to me as I thought you were.
Right.
You know, after just that conversation, it's a completely different definition.
It is. And it's a very daunting thing to think about, honestly. But and there were definitely times where I was just like, well, I don't even want to eat, but you have to eat, right? So I'm more mindful of the sourcing of my food, and here in the Pacific Northwest, we have endless amounts of fresh food available to us. There's so many farmers out there who are small family farms that have farm stands, and they don't necessarily label their food organic because to have that seal of organic is super expensive and it's not really worth it for small farms. But there's so many farm stands around that we just have to know what are we looking for. And that's a resource on the YouTube channel that I'll be sharing. And connecting with local farmers.
I was definitely going to ask you how I would be able to get a directory. But thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm sure they want to know too.
Right.
That's really eye-opening and life-changing information right there.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could expect to get more of that from your YouTube channel.
Yes. And by the way, the YouTube channel is called New You, NUYOU TV. So New You TV.
Nice. And when around the projected, because I don't want to put any pressure on you or anything
I might need some pressure, okay?
But around what time frame can we expect episode 1?
All right. Well, I just got my podcasting equipment in the mail yesterday, and I am shooting for the first video edited and all ready to go next week. Realistically.
Wow.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna throw
Say
it out
next
there
month?
and give. Yeah, I
No.
really did. I really was expecting it. Like that's all. I was like, here it is. You said next, and I was like, week. Okay, nice.
Yes. So next week, because this has been, on my task list for a while now, and I'm ready to mark it off.
So by the time you guys hear this, that ready to be released.
Yeah, there we go.
So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're a little behind here.
So we'll have
now
to.
I feel like I need to. We'll work something out.
Well, here. How about this, right? How about when we'll have to schedule another Net Builders episode and say whenever that is in the next 90 days.
In the next 90 days. We definitely can't go a whole nother year again.
Not at all.
You do too much in a year's time to be able to cover in 30 minutes.
Right?
So, yeah. No. But thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
What should be everyone's biggest takeaway for today?
Well, the biggest takeaway I'm going to leave you guys with is the DCD. Decide what it is in your life that you want to do, or what type of life do you want to live, or a goal. So decide, commit, whether you need to hire somebody to help you or you need additional resources, commit, and then do it. DCD. Decide, commit, and do.
Outstanding. And just so y'all know, her food is actually very delicious. So before, and I have to say this before we go.
Okay.
I was very suspicious of vegan food.
Uh-huh.
Because I had not always heard great things about it.
Sure.
Not as far as its health benefits, just
the
flavor.
taste.
So I'm not gonna lie, but I had one of her enchiladas. Oh man, amazing.
Game changer.
If you had never told me that it was vegan,
right?
would never known.
And that is my mission with New You, is to create food that is appealing and satisfying to everyone. So having that compliment from you as a non-vegan, plant-based person is one of the best compliments to ever receive. So thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, because now I can start eating a little bit more healthier now. But
that's right.
Just amazing. So you guys, I'm going to leave all of her information in the link below. And you are complete US based, right? Like you can, how? Or is it just local to Puget Sound?
So my food is available to the Puget Sound area. However, I do virtual cooking classes, and I also do virtual consulting, and I will also travel if you want to do an in-person class with your family and friends. So there's multiple ways, but for the food right now is only in the Puget Sound.
Gotcha. So Puget Sound 253 and 206 area code, you guys have no excuse at all.
That's right.
No excuse. So start getting healthy in your life. Seriously. Stop putting it to the side. DCD.
That's right. Hey.
Grab a plate. So, thank you so much again for joining us today. And thank you, Net Builders, for joining us. And we'll see you next episode. Take care.
Thank you.
So.
Whoopers.
Yeah, right. So.